being here. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending. So yeah, I think I first heard of your name through your publications. Because as some of you, I presume everybody has Googled Yang-Woo and has seen how many Chi and DIS papers he has. So I presume a lot of people attending here already know your name from your awesome work. And then I got contacted by Ian Oakley. I think he's a direct colleague of yours, Yang-Woo?
Yeah. His colleague.
Yeah, recently, and I had the privilege of basically combing through your CV and your achievements, and I was really, really impressed. So for those of you who would like to, I guess, get some of the highlights, what I was particularly impressed about with Yang-Woo's work is his combination of high-level academic research, which means, you know, getting accepted in the top conferences in our field, so Chi and DIS, for example, but then combining that with, and you can already see it on this opening slide, beautiful aesthetics of beautiful products that are actually research objects, research prototypes, but they look amazing. And so what I understand is you've won multiple design awards doing this, and I think that's incredible. I don't know many design researchers who can do both. Usually people are either they're good at academic research or they're really good at actual design, but this combination I think is really exceptional. Aside from that, you've done a lot of conference organizing, and I know that's, you know, it's volunteering work for us, but it needs to be done to keep our work processes going and the opportunities for everybody to actually publish their work. So I'm very grateful for all your involvement as, for instance, as associate chair at different Chi conferences, but also in quite a number of DIS conferences. I guess you're one of the returnees, so that is fabulous. So I really want to thank you for all your effort in that area. But I guess the main reason I invited you here is, of course, the topic of your research. As people can see from the title, it's quite related to my own research and my group's research on materializing memories. And so we design and we study people and how they use their memory in everyday life, in their memory practices, and we want to understand how we can design for that. And I guess, Yang-Woo, your work is exactly in that area as well. So I really can't wait to hear what you are happy to share with us today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alice, for really nice introduction, and then also thanks Paki for hosting this seminar. So I would like to start this seminar by introducing the title. Its title is Exploring Self-Reflective Experiences Through Tangible Interaction with Personal Lifelog Data. So this is where I'm working. It is called the UNIST in South Korea. And then this is the department that currently I'm belonging to, the design department. And then as director of Interactive Product Design Lab, as Alice really nicely introduced me, I'm currently, I was some of the papers associate chairs, Chi and DIS, and then TI program chairs. This is the lab's webpage, and then our research group, my students, and then so currently my research group photos. Okay, so mostly I research about data as a design material for future everyday artifacts, and then in the field of human-computer interaction, IoT and tangible interaction, and data physicalizations, including the future everyday things. So those are the key research themes that embraces the current today's seminar research topic, which is the tangible representation of daily activities and reminiscence from creative encounters with personal digital projections, and then interaction with data through new material properties and ephemerality of physicalized digital data, digital media. So my research have some framings based on the personal informatics model, because we use the personal data as a material for interacting with the people's everyday objects, focusing on the third stage and then fourth stage, integrating personal data into user routines to enhance the opportunity of reflecting on their data. Especially, we wanted to focus on the fourth stage, which is the reflection, which we go into detail. There's the discovery phase and then maintenance phase to discover the actions, the people's actions needed to attain their implicit goals, and then maintain awareness of their current status to achieve the goals. The main research methodology that we use, the research through design. I think that many of attendants and people here may know the research through design, and then to utilize the novel design for new interaction experiences. And then we conduct mostly, we adopt the field study method to reveal the true experiences and need of the users. And then we, during the field trial, we deploy the design at the users' homes to provide inspirations and practical suggestions for better interaction experiences with personal data. And then, yeah, this image shows the very good image of very good summary of what currently I'm doing. So we utilize everyday things as a medium for physical interaction in their home environment. So here are many of the design artifact examples that you can go into our labs webpage, and then you can see more details. And then this video shows the overall summary of today's talk. So the everyday artifacts in here can be a frame or a lamp or a clock. We utilize those things to represent personal data. So it visually looks like a normal lamp or a clock, but it represents, and then it is connected to internet that retrieves the people's personal digital archives, such as schedule data or reading activity data, or even the email data and those kind of things. So people can naturally interact with those artifacts in their homes through those. So there on the back, there are some more details that I will introduce about the artifact in detail, and some longer videos that you can see what these do. Okay, so first that I want to visit is the personal reading activity data. So how this reading activity data can be represented through everyday artifacts. So we wanted to connect the need of the reading to the action, and then wanted to use the materiality and affordance and topology of paper books as it becomes when it's put it on our nearby bedside, and then it means that the user is reading the book. And then it naturally indicates the personal reading state by putting the book on like this shape, the mountain shape, and then give the signals, the continuity of the reading. And then we published this artifact and its study results at CHI 2019, which was the last face-to-face sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
Conference event.
Face-to-face conference. And for that, we utilize this behavior change model, which is the transtheoretical model. And then we focused on to observe how this artifact can support the people who are in the preparation stage, and then how lead them to action stage that encourage the reading motivations that help to finish their book during the study. And then this is the artifact that we have implemented. So this is a very simple design that accumulates the users the paper book reading activity. So the main is the lampshade on the top of it, and then it expands its volume when users take out the book from this lamp. So we utilize this the volume change as a medium to represent users the reading activity. But inside we did a lot of mechanical engineering and then the coding to implement lampshade to be expanded. And then, of course, we also went through some of the these are the represent examples of the industrial design process to design the final shape and then internal technical implementations. Also, we wanted to put all the wires into the lens. And then we studied with the 6 participants, and then we carefully chose the participants among 50 applicants, people who buy or borrow more than 1 book per month, but fail to start reading. So these are the images that we deployed the prototype in their everyday living spaces. And then on the top, it shows the visuals of the log data, how much they have used the Bookly, this prototype. So we could see the set amount of reading time within the schedule, and then provide opportunity to continuously understand his or her their reading progress. And then this definitely the change of the volume and then amount of the volume change give them the motivation for improved behavior. And then it helped to lower the wall toward the reading activity and enhance the accessibility to ongoing books. And then this mountain-shaped book holder, it looked, people say, look more active. And then the designation of the ongoing book are visually represented in our everyday living space through the lamp. And then people felt that they are like continuing and that they need to finish their book. Something like this. So this mountain shape of the book validate the message the book is in progress, and then naturally enhance the accessibility to a book that users to keep the book, take the book for the reading. And then we found the amount of the reading time can be represented in an abstract way and then the absolute way. And then we also found the need for the absolute visualization that it gives the object interpretations like amount of reading time. So you have read like 2 hours or 3 hours. But also we found the importance of abstract visualization that include the personal interpretations toward the like abstract size of the volume shape could promote the trier's effort and attitude. So this abstract visualization could provide a positive pressure to finish their reading. And then this may provide another design implications. At the same time, it gives a little bit of pressure for the P6 so that he didn't use the Bookly from the day 4 and then only used some in day 6 and 8 that it gives like pressure to him to read the book until the finish. So we may need some more design improvements to resolve this kind of limitations. And then after that, like 2 years later, we did also wanted to touch the digital audiobook data and how this can be represented through physical artifact. So this is the artifact that we have implemented. And then I prepared a little bit of a detailed video that shows the overall motivations and then interactions with this prototype. So our problem was, our motivation was the audiobook is intangible, and then it is really difficult to know how much we have read. And then we even forget that we have started the reading of the audiobook. And then we wanted to put that like digital data into the user's bookshelf, put that digital one into the user's bookshelf. Of course, it provides users kind of a navigation and then check their progress of the audiobook reading data through like book, like taking out action as an interaction metaphor. And then this pendant length shows how much I have read the audiobook. Yeah, so during the design process, as you may recognize that we wanted to utilize the metaphor of the bookend and then the book-shaped lever to feel like a paper book, and then make the digital audiobook is placed in the user's bookshelf like a book. And also we utilize the like bookshelf lever, taking out interaction to navigate and check the progress of the user's reading state. We also went through some kind of technical prototyping process. In South Korea, they one of the major audiobook program is the audiobook app is the neighbor audio clip. And then we use a Selenium to crawl the listening data and then use the Amazon server to upload the data and then to take it back to this prototype using Raspberry Pi. So these are the 6 participants' deployment photos that we conducted during the study. So we had a 4 weeks of field study upon the 6 participants to investigate how this prototype affects the current listening experiences and create new situations and practices for listening audiobooks. Before that, some of the people had not familiar to use the audiobook apps. Many of them are used to it, but they might be not that much familiar with the neighbor audio clip. So we had a 2 weeks of trial period and then started them to and deploy this prototype from this period and then conducted the 4-week deployment study. So this shows the log data, that how much that they have pulled the lever to check the listening progress through this prototype, and how much audiobooks they have read, and then total listening times. So yeah, definitely you may expect that this. We found that this prototype could be physical proof for listening to audiobooks and then making the digital files to a book. So P4 mentioned that I recognized it as a digital file, but now when I see the pendant means the this silver one, I think, oh, I read a lot of books. And then P1 mentioned that I was really sad. I felt like as soon as I finished the book, I just put it on the bookshelf without looking back. And then there was some like disappointed with that finished audiobooks progress was not shown in audio. So this was the one of the like further improvement that we need to do it further. And then it provided a remind and motivate to listen to the audiobooks. And then it made a continuous reminder of the listening to audiobooks. P6 mentioned that it feels like a bookshelf on my table. It tells me like read me. And then you motivate participants to listen to the audiobooks. And P3 mentioned that it's not a burden, it's a reminder of the desire to acquire knowledge through the reading. So we could check that this stuff forming personal approaches to using this audio prototype for listening to audiobooks, such as like this, attaching their sticky notes that the current paper book reading habits to audio, and then set a short-term goal on the pendant physical lengths. Second data that I wanted to show is the personal schedule data. Regarding the personal schedule data, actually our research team have investigated a lot of prototypes. This was the paper calendar, concrete calendar that looks like a paper. So this is made of concrete, and then uses the Google Calendar data. And then this ink display shows the monthly schedule and then daily schedules. And then it also shows the digital screen to the physical print. And then it gives users to bring them in their wallets or stick into their diaries. So what we focused is to design an artifact that connects through the digital through the physical artifact to connect the digital calendar from the screen and then to the physical paper. And then we explored those experiences through the study. And actually, this was the very first thing that our research team has implemented within the frame of using everyday things as a medium for representing the personal data. It was the most, the old one by 2017, and then it luckily got an honorable mention award with a short paper. So this was very simple. It is also retrieves the user's calendar data. And then this is the silver is the hour hand, and then this LED is the minute hand. And then, yeah, current time is 3:05, and you just touch the concrete on the top shortly. It goes to the next schedule's starting time. So there is a next schedule will start at 6, which will become, when we check through the Google Calendar and then we go to the like SNS, we go to the website, and it is really distracted. And then what we wanted to know is the actual, what is my next schedule is. So from 3 p.m. to the 6 p.m., we may focus on something that we need to do, like reading the paper or reading the book. Yeah, we had a lot of trial and errors to make this concrete material as a medium for fabricating the product, and then we made our mold. The next version was improved and then published into this DIS 2020 with the more participants and then longer field study. You will see some more artifacts left after this. So it is called the Bakelot. So we upgrade a little bit with the gear structure, new gear structure to these two needles can move separately, and then shows the schedule data, contents a little bit ambiently, and they use the frame as a touch input medium that when users touch shortly or longer, it provides a different feedback to the overall, like today's data. So yeah, the frames and then black acrylic faces are utilized for the interactions and fabrications. And then we made a custom web page to make users to connect their Google Calendar ID into this clock. Yes, it was quite tricky to make a movement for clock hands and then assemble clock faces and then touch frames and made the custom-made PCBs. Yeah, so we this field trial with a little bit more than the previous one. We recruited 8 participants, and then people who have been using Google Calendar. These are the detailed shots of the field study. You can see a lot of different kind of jobs that the participant was, especially the P4 was the coffee shop manager, and then he used the day clothes during the work. And then she was the laboratory researcher in the field of chemistry, and then she put it into she put the prototype on the top of her experimental space. We also collected the log data, that number of touches and the number of enter schedules, and then we can see some of the changes through change of their behavior of using Dayclo during the month. So we found this prototype helped to bring the immediate reflection to current plan. So the schedule and easy access to daily schedules, to the day schedules, and then it provided a short movement. The prototype provides short movement, close the upcoming schedules, and develop instant actions to carry out the plan. So P5 mentioned that then I decided whether to keep doing my current work or preparing the next thing based on how far the clock hands are moving or how close they moved. So what we found is a slightly more detailed usage scenarios and usages than we did with the previous the concrete clock that we made in the CHI 2017. And then we found that people understand the implicit goals with the moving clock hands. So fill the empty time, so they can immediately check the empty time with this moving of the clock needs, and then fill the empty time with the reading book or something else, some more casual things, or eating lunch, and then understand the implicit goal by balancing between work and life. So we found people put this reading book or eating lunch into their Google Calendar schedules, which is not that much important, but it could be important, but those are not a thing that they usually put in their Google Calendar. But this prototype helped to fill those kind of understand the empty time and then put it into their everyday normal digital calendar. Something like this very casual thing, go to the dinner party, picking girlfriends up, something like that. And then we found some from pressure to self-tracking, so softening alertness of the personal schedules. So people may see a little bit of pressure when they see the overall Google Calendar. Oh yeah, there are a lot of things that we need to do on today and tomorrow, and then overall this month. And then this made this small clock made us users to soften the alertness of the personal schedules. So P2 mentioned that I prefer to see the red color. So red color means the overall schedules indicating the user's schedule through this Dayclo, because it kept reminding me that I was doing well without missing any important things. So I was relieved and proud. P6 mentioned that because I knew that I was often behind in my work, I wanted to check by myself whether I followed up on my plans through Dayclo. So yeah, this made users to self-track and maintain awareness of the current states. So third data that our research team has explored within this research theme was the personal music listening history data. Firstly, we explored how the design can be implemented, and then not only using the users the digital music data, we focused on different aspects. So for that, we went through industrial design and prototyping process. Then some more technical details, and then design details. And then also made different color versions of the prototype. And then we did the study and then published into DIS 2019. And then we also luckily could got a paper award. So it is called MuReader, a music shredder, a song ticket shredding speaker for ephemeral music contents. So this paper ticket includes the one song file. And then when users put this song ticket into this speaker, it shreds this paper song ticket. And then this shredded remnants are remained on the bottom part. And then it plays the song until the song is finished. It shreds the song music ticket until the song is finished. So these are detailed implementations. Contain the song data in RFID tag, and it contains song amplifiers in the SD card, and it detects each song file. So users can select a song, like this song paper book, and then put it into the speaker. And then it shreds the ticket. So we apply the ephemerality, like a one-time use of the digital file, that people may feel a little bit like careful choosing or listening to the book. Yeah, we also did demonstrations in DIS 2019, and then yeah, we could hear very encouraging comments during the study. So people liked the industrial design finishings, and it was a little bit like crowded, and then people could not hear the song playing, but when they hear they also they questioned about how the song traces with the remnants, paper traces, can be utilized and then provide meaning to the users. So we applied the functional limitations and then ephemeral interfaces, and then to provide materiality in digital world. So our motivation of this study was the CD and vinyls or LPs that we kind of enjoyed, and then the one-time experiences in a limited space, and then how we can bring those back a little bit by using the digital music files with the physical artifact. We studied with 10 participants, and then we provided 9 song tickets, which they liked, participants' favorite songs, and then we custom made the 9 songs for each participant. Then found some important findings that this kind of a semi-ephemerality, because users can check the randoms of the physically used traces and materials. So the ephemerality becomes the digital information remnants, and then the physicality also can be utilized. So these provide users to think again about the contents in the paper, which means the paper ticket, the song, during the one-time consumed interactions. So I think that there might be another research possibilities that how this shredded paper can be utilized, and then this kind of new song material, digital song can be utilized with this kind of materiality. So lastly, this is the last case before the implication page, that is the most recent work that utilize the personal photos plus music listening history data. So we combined, because the previous artifact used only one type of the data, like photos or musics or schedules, but we combined these 2 types of users' personal archives by combining these 2 data with the metadata. So this is actually the work that I really inspired from the Alice paper that made me to be a fan of her work. So this is the slightly connected to the research about tangible and then memory, because it touches the user's previous histories of the photos and then listening to the songs. So basically, this is the user's photo on the left. And then when the user slide the frame to the left, and then it plays the user's history data that she have listened to the 2019 September. So users can feel the reminiscence through the photo and then with the music history that she heard on that time. So we want to explore how this combination of users' history data can provide a different type of reminiscence experiences. So slide frame to remember the back. So the photo is selected by users and shown on the display. When users close it, it goes to next. So you can hear the song is playing a little bit.
It's very soft, but I hear little bits of it.
So the photo can be one, but song can be a lot in that she heard on the April of 2014. So we chose the 15 songs that users mostly heard on that period. So this video shows how the users can use in situ, like they can decorate with their memorable like postcards. Yeah, same methodology. Fabricate a lot of fabricate multiple prototypes for the field study, and then use the coding to retrieve the users the music listening and photo data, and then conduct the field trial with the 7 participants. So these are, you can see some of the consistent kinds of methodologies that I've used using the log data, which is the quantitative data, and the interv data, which is qualitative data, and use these 2 types of data to interpret the user's feedback. And then this shows the data collection and then log data, how many times the people opened this prototype. And then we could see some novelty effect on the first week, and then become a little bit stabilized from the third week, second week. And then we also use the diary to provide diary to let them to archive some of the experiences that they have had while using this slide to remember prototype. The finding was we found the role of each photo and then song pair in reminiscence during the combined delivery of those 2 data. So the role of photo was to provide a clear times and objective information about the events to help make a story. For instance, when I only listened to the music, I couldn't remember the specific day, but there's a cat in the photo and I knew the cat was there. So he could know the specific clear times. The role of music was to, people mentioned that music played a role in making broader recollections of their experiences. And then 3 out of 7 remarked that music added the immersion to the memories. So one participant mentioned that when I look at the photo, I can only see what is in front of me. By the way, now when I listen to the music, I feel like detailed, like vivid. I remembered a lot, mainly about that. So this could be in line with the previous studies that music evoked autobiographical memories, provoke a feeling of vividness. And then also the sequential encounter that users see the photos first and then listen to the music later. So this may help users to anticipate, what kind of song will come out based on this photo. So this made users to anticipate and then provide a curiosity about what kind of data, what kind of song data will come out from this artifact. So these are the final remarks. So I prepared some of the design implications for future researchers to utilize them for the new HCL research. The first thing is the designing everyday objects as a medium for delivering personal data for self-reflection. So yeah, we found that definitely this kind of artifact becomes a physical presence of data in everyday life and increase the accessibility. And then the people can connect their habitual behaviors like touching the clock, seeing the clock, and then touching the paper book, and in daily life to act of the checking the data. And this may bring the data to users' everyday moments. And then casual interaction with the data rather than just only checking the data through the mobile phone. And then minimize the additional time and attention needed for reflection. And then there might be another research opportunity that can promote users' kind of behavior change that can from action stage to the maintenance stage. Our field study was a little bit short, from 2 weeks to the longest was a month. But when we do the field study with the more than like 6 months or even like for years, then we can check how these users kind of behaviors can be maintained throughout the time. So we could think of different representation of self-reflective data, that how to expose the physicalized data in everyday life, and then use the abstract visualization wisely for positive pressure. And then something else could be another design opportunity. And then actually the last work, the slide to remember, I think it provides a lot of kind of implication for our research group. The considerations for linking 2 different type of, even 3, but 2 different type of the personal digital positions. That because it is linked, the photo and music listening history was linked based on the time that they have created the photo and then consumed the music. So the time is the metadata of the data, and then it also have the range, like it could be a month, it could be a year, or it could be or it could like group into like summer or winter. So the metadata, type of the metadata and the range could be really important because it could provide a different kind of experiences and trigger various retrospective experiences in users' daily life based on like if you use the time metadata, but if it is like very exact, like the photo created in the September 17th, and then the music was listening the September 17th, but the reminiscence experiences can be focused on that day. But if we're a little bit wider the range, it could provide different kind of reminiscence experiences from direct to the indirect, from the and then to the even the unrelated could provide different kind of reminiscence experiences. So it's worth to explore further through a device. And then exposing different type of past data in everyday living space for retrospection. This could be also important. So interweave reminiscence activities into daily practice to help people recall memories. And then everyday physical object that fit into users' living space may promote their natural engagement with the device. And then provide ambient displays rather than directly alerting them. So the continuous exposure and then context for interacting could be important design implications. And then adding another new layer of digital positions to existing one could be important, that allow users to actively access and think more about their digital positions, like method of anticipating. So what will come out from this photo, or what will come out even when we change the music and photo, or even something else, when we listen to the music, and what kind of photo will come out based on the music listening history. So method of anticipating could be interaction method of anticipating could be important, and then consider the sequence of the encountering the data of the history data to the user could be also important matter. And then we could also think about user created plus user consumed data. That may link to the another reminiscence experiences. But we found the additional filter was very important. In our user study, there was some findings that people reminiscence on negative memories that they didn't want to remember. So something that is related to a certain person, or it may relate to a certain event that my event that my paper was rejected or something like that. Or so the people wanted to, some people wanted to discard those negative memories, but some people wanted to remain. Yeah, that is also the thing that I want to learn from the previous memories. So this additional filter parameter, it could be a very important design implications that people can apply to this interactive artifact. That some people can check the filter parameter of the person or something kind of event, or even the period, or something. Some other people can leave all kind of a negative and positive history together to learn from those memories. And then we also found that there's the physical artifact. So there are some experiences divided the pre-listening and during listening and then the post-listening. So the experience could be different. So from the pre-listening, that it could facilitate the starting to use the prototype and listen to the data, listen to the audiobook. And then during listening, they can check the from the visualizations of the reading data and visualize the personal listening experiences using even the bookmarks and memos and showing the favorite phrases. And then after the experience with the physical artifact, they can acknowledge the achievement. Like, yeah, how much they have done, how much they have read, and then revisit the even the finished audiobook in a daily life. And then there are some customization issues for creating and using new ephemeral contents, like self-recording, not only music, but it could be a self-recording data, diary data, and novel data, and letter data and comic book data. Yeah, our school's official announcement. Almost done. Yeah, this is last page. So yeah, right. So you can definitely see from the visuals that we use the apps quite a lot. So it doesn't mean using the physical artifact is to discard of using the apps. So I think that we can combine the role of the physical and physical together. That in a digital app, users can select a device and then make the music ticket, and then can order this kind of music ticket through the app, and then users can enjoy this ephemeral and limited music listening experiences through the physical product. So yeah, so luckily, so this is the end of the presentations. And then if you have any questions, now we can use the rest of time for Q&As. Sorry for the broadcasting.
That's all right. I find it really interesting, actually. Thank you so much. I would love to see a lot of hands from everybody, and I would also love for people to turn on their cameras so we can have a nice conversation with Yang-Woo, because there are several questions I already see. Maybe Tim, do you want to ask yours first, because you're the first to post one?
Yeah, I think that's probably the burning question for everyone, right? So there's such a good product, and I really envy those participants in your user study, right? Because for us, our user study is super boring, mouse clicking, but yours like excellent product. So the burning question would be, are these product concepts available in certain commercially available products somewhere?
No, unfortunately, no. Yeah, it is very good question that it is about the further process of the commercial, like preparing for the commercialization, like going into the production phase, which will take a lot of further efforts from the promotion to finalizing the product. Yeah, I mean, we wanted to do that, but our research team is more interested in thinking about new type of the product and then going into the field study and then explore the findings and implications that people and researchers may learn from it. So yeah, production and commercialization is really important. And then we wanted to do that always, but it takes a lot of time, like even years, that it will prevent our research team will go whole into making a one product and then couldn't go further into other research activities. So it's more about our interest, that we are interested in creating it, exploring the experiences through the field, and then making into publish into a paper and then share it through the researchers.
I believe they will inspire many great products.
Thank you. I think so too. Thanks, Tim, for your question, all the way from Adelaide. Tom, I think you're next.
Hey, yeah, amazing to see all of that and very cool products that you've created. My question was sort of around the book designs. It seemed very much that was sort of displaying what was happening in the moment or in that instant. So for the lamp, it seemed like it was the progress each time that they opened and sort of how long they spent on it. And for the audiobook, I really liked sort of how the pendant came down. But I was curious that you didn't, you focused on those instantaneous things instead of sort of a log of how many books they'd read or something like that was sort of more permanent or sort of that they could build up if they were trying to build a habit. Was that an intentional decision?
Yeah, the building up part is not an intention. What we wanted to do only is to represent how much the audiobook has been read in each book. Like if they read the 25% of the 3-hour book or 50% of the 2-hour book, it dependent only represent through the lengths. And then we only provide users to navigate those audiobooks and then check the amount. So what we provided is only the physicalizations of those data. And then we wanted to explore how users build up through the field study. So I think that it is really very interesting part of the field deployment study that the researchers can discover unexpected usage scenarios that they apply their habitual behaviors, using the paper memos in their paper book and then apply that into the product. So if we go into a longer field study, 6 months or a year, I think those upgraded behavior, more additional behaviors that we couldn't expect beyond just the physicalization of data could be found. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Yidam, if I pronounce your name correctly, could you ask your question that's in the chat?
Hi, sorry, I'm currently in the office, but it's a really interesting topic and show a lot of fantastic design. I just have a simple question that's, how do you determine what data you selected to be recorded in the stage 1, the preparation stage?
So preparation stage is stage 3. So what you mean by is how users select the data?
I mean, how, I mean, there's a lot of work is very relevant to our daily life. In what way you selected those behavior or object to be to select it as vital needs for to have some technology artifact to be involved?
Yeah. So for example, what our research team first studied with the clock is the clock is with the clock hands uses the time and it is related to time, and then it can be related to some of the time related to the data. So we look for any kind of a time-related data, and then we found the schedule could be an appropriate one. And then that's why we use the schedule data and then map with the clock. And then the other lamp was actually connecting lamp with the book was something like this. We use the lamp that when we're reading the book, and then a lamp becomes our kind of a light to read the book. And the lamp has a flat kind of a holder, and then we may utilize this holder to make users to put their book, not only closed part, but like opened one. So it is kind of it could be some part linked, but some part could be definitely open-ended for the designers to change their designs and link with the artifact type and with the data. So I think that's also very interesting kind of moment that we kind of link with the data with the product. So
Okay.
Those could be the answer.
I think we have only time for one final question. Maybe Andrew.
Yeah, if no one else has got one. Thanks for a really fascinating talk. It's amazing work. And I often have this question, I think, in my mind when I see tangible researchers presenting their work. I'm not exactly sure what the question is, but I think it's something about like, what's the relationship between art and design in your work? Because so many of them seem to be designed for everyday use, but at the same time, they seem like artworks to me. And I kind of feel like, are you interested in putting your things in galleries to encourage people to reflect on the connection between the things they're doing or the data that's in their life and physical objects? Or are you really focused on actually making things that people will have in the house and will interact with over the long term?
The later part was actually our focus, that you make as a design and then explore the user's experiences. But definitely, we don't have a certain clear gap between whether this could be art or design. Yeah, I mean, exhibiting and sharing this kind of work in the art galleries, I think it would be really, really interesting, especially for the music shredding speakers. Those are because they have a shredded remnants, the physical traces. It is represented with a different type of the color. So, for instance, like the visitors in the art gallery, like put the jazz music, and then it could be a yellow color traces. And then if that's art gallery, they put like rock music, and it could be a blue color. So I think the shredded remnants could represent a different type of visitors in the art galleries, showing the genres or their kind of tastes. And then like more, not just like seeing the visuals, seeing the art products, but like more engaging, like interactive art galleries could be also one medium that we could, our research can promote our work too. So there's no like certain like division of those two type of.
Yeah.
So
great, thanks. Yeah, I'd love to see it in galleries. So
yeah.
I think it certainly could be there if you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I guess we have to round off. I mean, I have lots of questions, Yang-Woo, but I know a lot of people will have to leave, and I know you have to teach this afternoon, so I don't want to put any pressure on your diary. But I would love to continue the conversation sometime. If you have half an hour sometime, let me know.
Sure.
Really amazing work. I'm really, really impressed. Yeah, very inspiring. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks so much,
and everyone. Yeah, thank you, Baki, and then
thank you
everyone for really inspiring questions. Yeah, so I hope to see you soon.